Hi friends, welcome to another Clever Creations Live. Let's get ourselves settled here. Sorry, my brother's calling. I need to hang up on him quickly. I have it on Do Not Disturb, but it just came across. He's probably going to go, well, that was really nice. He lives in Montana, so probably checking up. Today was our mom's birthday, so he's probably checking in with me, but I'll call him later. So anyway, welcome to my Clever Creations Live. I'm Lori Longwell, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I am in the Southern Tier region of New York State. So if you are new to watching my Facebook Lives, welcome. I have had some new people joining the group, which is so exciting. I think a lot of that comes from I love to do swap cards, and when we do our swaps, we share all of our information. And then I just did the retreat with Kevin Thiessen, and that was a huge success, a 2.5-day event. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Dawn. So yeah, just getting yourself out there a little bit. So I have had some newer people's names popping up in my group. So that's super exciting. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So anyway, not going to do a lot of announcement kind of things. There's one big one that I just want to talk about, and I'm going to get right down to my table to make the little project that we have going on. Yeah, so we'll give it a minute, see who pops in here. I'll get myself refreshed on the tablet so I can see all those wonderful comments and interact with you. All right, I think I found it. Make sure. Hi, Dawn, Lisa. I saw Tammy. Hi, Mimi. If you're new here, Mimi, welcome. I've never seen your name before. Please leave a little hello or where you're from. We love to have new people, so thank you for joining my Clever Creations Live. Tonight we're going to make a cute little project that I saw actually in our demonstrators. We get a little newsletter sort of thing on a weekly basis called Succeed Weekly. This was several weeks ago that I saw this project, and I really liked it. It was super cute. I featured it, I showed it in the event that I just did with Kevin Thiessen, his Winter 26 retreat. I showed it as one of the projects that I had made, and I had a few people inquire about this little project. So I thought, well, this is super easy and fun, so I'm going to bring it to the table tonight for us to make. So if you didn't see the instructions on what you needed, the supply list for what you needed, when I switch down to the table, I'll have that there for you. It's really not hard at all. If right now you want to scramble, grab a couple sheets of 12 by 12 designer series paper. You're going to need some probably white cardstock to make some little tags, and then if you want to do some stamping or whatever, but making the pockets themselves and the little tags, that's what we're going to do. And then we'll play with decorating them how you want to decorate or embellish them. So it's going to be pretty easy. All right, so the big announcement or the big news thing that I want to share with you is, of course, the current join offer. It started on Tuesday, and it runs through, I think, the end of February or March 2nd. I can't remember. There's two things happening, and one ends the end of February, the other one ends March 2nd. So anyway, at least through this month of February, the join offer right now, the special, because you can always join. I talk about that. Joining is something you can do 365 days a year. It doesn't matter. A few times a year, Stampin' Up! Will come up with a new join promotion. Just a little something to maybe entice or maybe get some people who've been on the fence, not really sure, but now we've got this added bonus item or something to offer as a little incentive. So right now, the join promotion is the usual. You pick $125 in product. You're going to pay $99 plus tax, no shipping. You're going to pick the products of your choice to make what's called your starter kit. So that can be anything you want it to be. If you're brand new and you don't know where to start, reach out to me and I will help you come up with a basic starter kit. If you've been a demo or you have lots of supplies in your stash, then, you know, you may know exactly what you want, or again, I'm happy to help you. So in addition to that $99 starter kit, you also get a few little things from Stampin' Up. And then the new promotion offer is the, sorry, I meant to have that right on my table, is the new Stampin' Positioner, the new stamping tool that is great for putting, you're going to put your stamps on it and stamp on the little positioner thing, and it's pretty cool. I will do a video on this. I just, a few things this week that I hadn't planned kind of came up, and so I haven't had time to do a lot of that myself, but I will do something with it definitely in the next week or so, hopefully sooner than later. So that's the new promotion. You will get that item. It's a $49 value that will be free in your kit. You don't have to choose it. You don't have to put it in your cart or anything. You choose the items you want, that will automatically be sent to you with your starter kit. So that's pretty cool, that positioner. It is only available right at this time to new demonstrators who join during this promotion period. Demonstrators already active were able to pre-order it. We had about a week to pre-order it, so of course I did. And we don't know when it will be available to demonstrators or customers after the join promotion. They have not given us any of those details. So right now it's exclusive to new demonstrators who join if you did not purchase it during the pre-order period. So I think that's it for announcements. I'm going to get you turned down. Let's take a look at this project that we're going to do. So hold on just a second. Let's see here if we can wrestle this little devil. Get this up here. Adjust some lights. Bring that in a little bit. I think we're okay. Ooh, push that out. There we go. I think that's good. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, sorry, my notes aren't very good, but basically what you're going to need, depending on the number of pockets that you want to make. So let's take a look at this real quick. So this is what you're going to make. This is a little belly band. I just took it off so I can show you these pockets. So you're going to make these little pockets. They're all stuck together. You're making like a little accordion album, tag album. It's really cute. And so depending on the number of pockets you need, that's how much paper you're going to need. So each pocket, you need a 3 5/8 by 10-inch piece of designer series paper. Now you can see, hopefully in there you can tell, I did not use all the same. I did the True Blues or whatever that packet of paper is called. I used a different piece for each of the pockets. So it doesn't matter. Now your back pocket and your front pocket, obviously you're going to see your paper on this side and this side. So pick something that you want to look at or that you think whoever you're gifting this to really, you know, would enjoy. So that's the only real big tip I give you. And then the center ones, however you want to do that. So again, I did 4 pockets. The template or the sample they gave in that in our little newsletter was they did 6 pockets. So you can do as many as you want. It's just gonna, you know, that's how many strips of paper that you're going to need to make each pocket. Then you're going to want a coordinating tag with each pocket. These are the little tags, and we'll talk about those in a few minutes. These are the tags. Those are going to be 3 by 5. So just some white cardstock if you want white, or you could do something else and then embellish them however you want. And then for your belly band, I did look up on the instructions. It was, I think they did 2 3/8, but whatever you want, the width of your designer series paper, 2 inches, 2 3/8, whichever you want to do, and then approximately 7.5 inches. Now that may change depending on how many pockets and how wide, how much stuff you might put on your tag. So don't worry about that. If you're going to do this, I would just cut a 2-inch by 12-inch piece of designer series paper for your belly band, and then you'll be good to go. We'll cut that down as we go along. You also may want, if you have a circle punch, it doesn't matter what size, if you want a circle punch, because you may want to cut this little notch right here in your pockets. That's just for aesthetic kind of look and pulling out your tag. But your tags, depending on how you're going to make yours, have a little ribbon on the end, so that is not detrimental. But if you have a circle punch, you may want that. Now, speaking of the little tab that I did on here, this is from the new set of the Joyful Snippets, the little snippet set of dies. That is where this came from. However, we also do have, it is current right now, the Keeping Tabs punch. That's what I'm going to use tonight. If you don't have something like this, you know what you can do? If you have a circle punch, you can punch out a circle. Let me just grab a scrap piece of paper. You'd think this would be easier, but sometimes I struggle finding a piece of paper. This is going to be kind of small, but if you have a circle punch, you can punch a circle, fold it in half, put that over your, let's just say this is the end. You can fold that, put it on there like that, and make a little tab. You could punch a hole. We can put ribbon and staple. So we'll do all that. But if you just want to have some things ahead of time, if you've got a circle punch, if you have the tabs punch, maybe you have a die that you could do your tabs. The options are endless. And I'm even going to show you without making that tab on top, because that's not how they did it. They just did their cardstock and cut it with scissors and made it and punched a hole at the top. So you probably do want a hole punch if you have one. I have a couple options. I have a crocodile, which I love. So I've got my crocodile that can do all kinds of, I think it's in Hobby Haven also. Oh, I think you're right, Dawn. Like the tab top thing, you might be right. And then there is a little set of, it's a 3-pack of punches. And this one has a 1/8 inch circle. And there is, oh, there's this cute one I forgot about. There's 3 of them. Let me find the third one. Here it is. Nope, that's not it. Here it is. So there's this one that makes a little tabby punch. Let me just punch it. So I don't know if you have any of these, but I'm just going to show them to you. And like I said, this is sold as a set of 3. And then there's this one that just makes a little slit. So whether you have a die that will work, if you just have a circle, if you don't have anything, do not panic, because I'm going to show you an alternate way to make your little tag. There is nothing wrong. There's not a wrong way, I guess, is what I want to say about doing this. It's just going to be whatever's going to work for you. And let me get my light down here, because I couldn't figure out why it was a little dark on my table. I didn't turn my light down. All right. So that's what you're going to need for your paper. This is what your project's going to look like. I am going to use up this paper. Wildflower Birthday is, it's gone. We don't have it anymore, but I have a few sheets of it and I want to use it up. So I am going to use this paper. I'm going to, whoops. I wanted to bring that back out a little bit. Sorry. I just want to adjust this. It keeps moving here. I got to tighten up my camera. Sorry. There we go. I think that's a little better. Okay. So I'm going to use some paper that's retired. It doesn't matter what you're using. And also for decorating your tags, that's going to be all in the eye of the beholder. Maybe you want to put some pictures like I did. I just did mine really quick, threw on some pictures. You can do that. I've got a bunch of ephemera that was from this pack, so I may use some of this ephemera. Grab some stamps. You might want to stamp some sentiments. This Labeled Me Grateful set. I've only used this, I think, once for an online class that I did. And so I'm going to use this, this set of stamps on mine. And then, like I said, I've got some ephemera here. I might use some of that. So your tags can be anything you want. So I did not cut my paper yet either. I'm going to cut that along with you. So I'm going to use this piece. And I don't know if I'm going to need a second piece or not, but I'm just going to see if I have a second piece. And if I don't have two of the same one, which I don't think I do, the back side of that work? I'm just looking for my paper because I didn't pull that out ahead of time. I wanted to wait and do it with you. I think this one, the background is a little different. So if I need it, I'm gonna do that. All right, so I've got my two pieces of paper and I've got my paper trimmer. So if you have not cut your paper yet, let's do that. So I know that my paper needs to be, let me move these off to the side here. I know my paper needs to be 10 inches long. Now this is not really directional. If you have directional paper, you want your paper to be 10 inches long in the correct orientation of your paper, because you're going to fold it in half. So you want to be sure if your paper's directional that you've got it going the long way. And mine is not, so I don't have to worry about that. All right, it needs to be 10 inches long, so I'm going to cut 2 inches off to start with. So my paper's 10. And I'm going to put that over there. Oh, I like the back side of that too. Now, each panel, each pocket is going to be 3 5/8 inch wide. So now 5/8 inch, if you're not great at this whole measuring thing on your trimmer, which I joked the other day with somebody and I said, I've learned how to measure since being a demonstrator and using my paper trimmer. So the 3.5 mark, then there's a 16th, then there's an 1/8 mark. It's kind of the larger one between the 1/2 and the 3/4. That's the 5/8. So I'm going to do 1, 2 of those, and then I think I'll do 2 of this one, just for fun. So I'm going to do 4 pockets like I did before. So I know I need to cut 10 inches off here. And then I need 2 more panels that are 3 5/8 inch long, so that I've got 4 panels. Now I've got leftover 2-inch cardstock from cutting off that 2 inches to make my panel 10 inches long, so I can use this to make my belly band, and that's exactly what I will do. Maybe this one. So I've got a 2-inch panel to use for my belly band, which is perfect. All right, so I've got my 4 panels. Now that you have your panels, this is very, very simple as well. You are going to score at 1/4 inch down each side. So we're going to score 1/4 of an inch. And if you're using your paper trimmer, make sure you're using the light blade thing. That's your scoring blade. So I'm going to do 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to do 1/4 of an inch. If you're using your Simply scoreboard, that's wonderful. I just prefer my trimmer for 90% of my scoring. So I'm going to do all 4 of my panels, 1/4 of an inch on both sides, going down the long. I know I love the pink paper too. I love anything with that plaid checker pattern. Okay, so I've got my 1/4 of an inch. So if everybody's got that, and you can always go back and watch the replay if you need to, if I go too fast. So now each panel we want to score in half. Very simple. Half of 10 inches is 5 inches, so I'm just going to do each one and score it in half. Simple, simple, simple. Now, if you are using your paper trimmer or your scoreboard, just be sure when you are scoring designer series paper that you don't get real aggressive with it. I sometimes forget and I get a little harsh with my scoring and I could tear my paper. So just remember, don't get too crazy with your scoring. Now, if you've got a bone folder or something solid that you can burnish those score lines, you're going to want to do that. So I want this, for this panel, I want this checker piece to be my outside. So I'm going to fold in from that score line, that 1/4 inch, and fold that down. And just hold it so you get that nice even as possible, keeping that score line at that 1/4 inch. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Julie. Hi, Linda. Janine. All of you little names I'm seeing as I glance up. I have got a glue dot or something, a chunk of adhesive. There we go. So now I've got my side scored. Now you are going to be folding these in halves, but if you want to go ahead while you're scoring the sides, score the center. But then we are going to be putting some adhesive here and folding these pockets up to make a pocket. But we want to probably punch our little notch there if you're going to be doing that. So go ahead and do all of your pockets. Get these nice and scored here. How's everybody doing? Are you all ready for the next cold blast? Not that we've really gotten over the cold, but it tricks us, and you know, we have a little sunshine and it felt a little better. Actually today I didn't think was horrible. It was pretty cold, but it wasn't horrible because there wasn't harsh winds. But the next blast is coming. My North Carolina kids are not impressed whatsoever. Not happy, but it is what it is. That the where they are in kind of the eastern, they're above Charlotte. They got about 12 inches each. They're in different towns, but they're real close to each other. And they got around 12 inches. So 12 inches in North Carolina and the surrounding southern states that got dumped on, that is a lot of snow. They are just not prepared. And because my kids obviously came from New York, they are like, you know, if we were up home, this would be next to nothing. But their road crews and stuff are just not equipped like we are up here or in those snowy states. My grandsons down there have been out of school for 2 weeks. They're not hating it. At least not that they admit. Okay. So I have my 4 pockets. That's all I need to do with those for right this second. Now, I am going to use tear and tape. If you do not have tear and tape, I would suggest the next best thing would probably be to use multi-purpose glue. I don't know if you use the Stampin' Seal. I just feel like it might be a tad bit wide, but you certainly could do it. I'm a huge Stampin' Seal person. I love it, but I personally prefer the tear and tape. So if you have that, it's a wonderful option for this project. Now, what you want to do, I am going to get my silicone mat to hopefully save myself. You know what? No, we'll do this part. I forgot. We should have cut the tags while we were cutting, but we'll go back to the tags because now I've got you thinking about tape and adhesive and all that. So we'll go ahead and do this. Now you may want to, you could go, if you're using the tear and tape, I like to put it on my arm like a bracelet. I remember seeing, it was Mary Jo Snyder. She was my upline for quite a long time, got me into all this. And when I first saw her putting this tape roll on her arm, I'm like, what on earth is she doing? Why is her tape on her arm? My camera keeps falling, you guys. I just need to, I got to tighten something up here. Something is not right. I'm noticing all of a sudden it's like falling down onto my table again. I don't know what its problem is, but we'll leave it there. So anyway, I'd see her with this on her wrist, and I'm like, what in the world is she doing? And then I started using tear and tape, and I realized what she's doing. It's easiest to use this while it's on my wrist, and I can control my tape. So I'm going to go from that score line up to the end. So I'm going to open this up because for me, that's the easiest way to get this lined up as evenly as possible. I'm going to go right to that score line, and I'm going to lay my tape down right along this. Now your tear and tape is at 1/4 inch, so I mean it's tight. It's a tight fit. So if you'd rather use your glue, go right ahead. That's perfectly fine. And I might do it on the next one just to use the glue, just to show you with the glue, because I'm also a big green glue, multi-purpose glue person as well. So we'll just assemble this one real quickly, and then I'll do the next one with glue just to be something different. So if you're using tear tape, after you've got it down on both sides, just the 1/2, you only need to put it on the 1/2. You've got it on here, peel them off. Fold these back in. Going to be tacky, of course. And then you're going to fold this up and create your pocket. Now you might want to go kind of slow so you get your sides lined up. Do one at a time if you can. Kind of hold the other one up a little bit. Keep that folded in. There's not a lot of leeway with this tear and tape. It is very, very tacky. So once you get it going down, there's not a lot of moving it. That's why if you're not real confident using the tape, oh shoot, you know what I forgot to do? And I said it, was to punch our circles. So now that's not going to work, but we're going to do it on these others before I adhere them. So if you want to make that little pocket notch, I think the one that I would do it on more than likely is the front pocket. Where'd my little sample go? And maybe the back. So this is the front of my little pocket holder. So I've got the notch there. You can do it in all of your pockets, but like I said, it's not real essential because I've got these tabs and they pull up, so it's not a big deal. But I think I will go ahead and put it on this. I'll make this one my front one. So I'm going to put it on the front just because. Just because. All right. And, well, I did it on that one. I'll go ahead and do it on this one. I'm just not going to do it on the last one, which is going to be, these two are going to go in the middle, and then this one's going to go on the back. So I'll have my flowers on the front and my flowers on the back. The two pink gingham ones are going to be on the inside. All right. I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue. Let me find... Oh, yeah. So I have this little bottle with the fine needle nose. It was clogged. I took a pin to unclog it, and I poked the little metal needle nose right down inside my bottle, and I cannot get it back in there. I think it's sunk in there by now. I tried and tried to get the needle nose back in there. I'm going to try this glue, though. Let's see. It's probably clogged up because it doesn't have the thing in there, so I think I got a little aggressive with the needle. So this is going to work great because I've got that needle nose, very, very fine little tip. And just going to put definitely less is more because this is such a fine area, that 1/4 inch. So you do not want a lot of glue because you don't want this oozing out. Actually, I'm thinking I might like the glue better than the tear tape. I'm surprising myself. I think I do. So then I'm just going to fold those over. Now I've got my pocket. There's number 2. And I've got 2 more. Glue. This would just be really fun. I think you could, the ideas with this little pocket thing, you could come up with some really fun stuff. I'm thinking this one I'm just doing sort of a little blessings or grateful, thankful, those little sentiments from that stamp set I showed you. We'll get that out in a minute. But it'd be fun for birthdays, putting, whether you use some pictures and little messages for each one. You could do a gift card or 2 on some of your little tabs, your little tags that are going to be in there. Valentine's definitely would be a fun one. Lots of little love messages and pictures and stuff would be cute. So a lot of different things you could do with this. It'd also be fun maybe to add in a scrapbook. I make no bones about it. I am not a scrapbooker. So it won't apply to me, at least not at this point in time. Maybe if you did this and put it in a scrapbook, where they could take it out, had a pocket in a scrapbook, they could take this out, and you have some different pictures like what I did in my sample one. And this was just very quickly made. I just grabbed some old pictures that I had, cut them out real quickly, put them on my little tags. But so that could be kind of fun in a scrapbook. Graduation. So now we have our 4 pockets. Before I do anything more with those, let's do our tags. And like I said, I did 4 pockets, so I need 4 tags. They are 3 by 5, so I'm going to cut my piece of cardstock down to 5 inches and cut 4 tags at 3 inches. 1, 2, 3, and then cut this at 3 by 5. All right, so here's where you're going to have your options, how you want to do your tags. Hi, Jane, how are you? I'm going to pull out a different one this time. Oh, my handsome little boys. So like I said, I put this little tab thing up here. I may do that with the tag, keeping tabs punch. But if you don't want to do that, what you can do is you have some scissors or your paper trimmer. So this is 3 inches wide. You get a little ruler, or I could use my grid, right? So I've got it between the 5 and the 8. So 6.5 is going to be the middle. Is that right? 3 inches, 1.5. Yep. Right up through there. Right on that dotted line is the halfway mark. So let's get a pencil. I'm going to put a little dot right there. Now, I could cut from the side, so I could measure down. Let's say 1/2 inch. And then I could cut up like this, so I didn't really need that middle, did I? And then over here, and do it like that. That's what they did for their sample. You could do it more pointed if you wanted to and go up to the middle point, or you can just leave them squared off and add a topper. You could do, like we mentioned, the circle. I've got a bigger, this is too big. I've got a circle right here. It's white, but that's okay. You could take a circle, fold it in half, and put that on the top just to make like a little tabby thing. If you have a square, make a square piece of paper. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do for your topper. I am going to do a piece of cardstock. And let me see. Boy, my room just feels so dark tonight. I don't know what its problem is, but man, it feels dark in here. I'm going to use this pink. Maybe I'll do different colors. That might be kind of fun. My paper has the pink. It has peach pie. I've got a piece of petal pink right here. We could use that. I'll grab a piece of blue scrap. Looks like some balmy blue. Oh, actually that one, the blueberry bushel. I'm going to do that. And then a piece of green. I've got a little old olive there. So these are my scrap pieces, you guys, and I just use these photo boxes that I've had. I bought them years ago. They work perfectly. And then I just label them. I keep my scraps in them. Super handy for when I need some scrap paper. Helps me keep organized. Oh my gosh, this camera is going to put me over the edge. I just need to... It keeps dropping. I don't know what its problem is. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to use my tabs punch, keeping tabs, and I'll do one with the old olive, one with blueberry. This was a fun idea. Glad I still had my tabs punch. Makes it so easy. And one in pretty in pink. So I've got my 4 tabs. Of that. So mine are not, I don't have a lot of work to do on mine. And then I'm just going to attach those at the top. Now, I also like a rounded corner. So I have an old corner rounder from another company. But I do have, I forgot I kept this. I do have my detailed trio, which is long retired Stampin' Up corner rounder. So I'm going to be a good girl and use my Stampin' Up detailed trio punch. I love this one. So I'm just going to round the corners of the top of my tags. Now, if you guys want to add designer series paper to your tags, you certainly could do that. I would do that if you're rounding your corners off. I would add your designer series paper first. I'm going to keep my tags white and maybe embellish them with some ephemera. But I wasn't going to cover them completely, so I'm good to go there. And then I'm just going to attach my little keeping tabs. My keeping tabs tab. That's a mouthful. All right, I've had glue out, so we're just going to use glue on both sides. And attach my tabs. And like I said, this keeping tabs punch, I looked it up beforehand because for some reason I had it in my head that it was a retired product, and it's not. It's actually in the annual catalog. So if it's something you're interested in, it's definitely one that's kind of handy for things like this, or even making your own tab dividers, maybe for paper or different supplies, or just for fun, little things. Got that on there. One more. I can't wait to see what you guys make. So I hope some of you are actually making this or will make it afterwards. And then be sure you show it off, because I would love to see what you made, what you came up with. What are you going to do with this little tag album, tag pocket tag thing? Yeah, I think there was a stamp set, Lisa. I think that is retired. And actually, this was down in my retired stuff, and I needed it not long ago for something. And so I went down and dug it out, and then I never took it back down. And tonight I thought, oh, I'm going to use that thing. So I looked it up, and it actually is still in there. I was kind of surprised. I'm going to take a quick sip of my water because I'm very parched. Took my mom to, my younger brother and I took Mom to the Mexican restaurant in Bath today for her birthday. And the food is good, but I am always just dying of thirst afterwards. I think it's very salty. For some reason, this one pocket is a little bit wider. I must not have measured properly, but that's okay. I'm going to make it work. But I keep thinking, why aren't the sides all even? Oh, this one pocket's a little bit wider. I must have not been paying attention to my cutting. Instead of 3 5/8, I did something. 1/16. Okay. So anyway, we've got these. We've got our tags. Now, let's put our pockets together, and then we can play with our tags and see what you want to do with those. So very simply, to do your tags, and again, this I would recommend, well, you can do glue. If you have tear and tape, we could go back to that. That's what I'm going to use. You could use your Stampin' Seal if you have that. I'm trying to find my Stampin' Seal Plus. I don't know why it's not where it always is in its little, oh, there it is, it's hiding. The Stampin' Seal Plus, which is the super adhesive. You could use that. You could use glue. That would be fine. I'm going to use tear and tape. So for this process, starting with this is going to be my front pocket. So I know I wanted this to be the front. I've got my little notch there, my little finger hole there. So on the back side of that, I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape right down the center. So whatever adhesive you're using, even if it's glue, just put a line, a strip of your tape or a line of glue right down the center. Then your next pocket is going to lay on top of it in a second. If you've got glue and you want to just lay it there, that's fine. I'm just going to put my tape and then undo them all at the same time. I'm going to put another piece of tape down the back side of the next pocket. I'm going to lay this one down. Piece of tape down the center of this pocket. And then when I tear that one off, this will be my back pocket. So tear and tape, tear and tape, tear and tape, adhesive, whatever, my 4 pockets. Super simple. Then we'll make that belly band after we do our tags. After you see how big you want how poofy your little pockets are going to be. All right, peel that up. Lay this right down on top. Line it up. Now try to get your sides, like I said, I had a little mismeasuring here, so this one's a little bit wider, but try to get your bottom, be as careful as possible, and then just give that a little press. And let's peel this one up. This would be a fun one for a little class or something too, Lisa. Lisa's the little class girl down at the Hammond Sport Library. She does a lot down there with kids and adults. This would be a really easy one. Use up paper. Use ephemera or something. Keep them really simple. This would be cute. Okay, so now I've got my 4 pockets. Got my little mini album here. Whoop, did my tape get to, oh, poopy-doo. I forgot, I cut that, this is the do not do what Lori does show. Yes, and some of the adults are kids. So I had cut that little half a circle there, and when I put my adhesive on the one in front of it, I pulled it all the way to the top so it was catching in here, and I shouldn't have. So yeah, I'm just going to put this piece of paper back on there for now. So I apologize. If you cut those notches, be careful when you put your adhesive on the back that it doesn't. I did it on this one too because I cut both of them. Don't put your adhesive above the half circle if you did the half circle. Oops. Oopsie daisy. Oh well. Keeping it real for you. Keeping it real. That's me. Okay. So now we can look at our pockets. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 little pockets. I love them. Isn't that fun? And, you know, as I'm looking at these, you could put even little flat treats in there or something. I don't know. You could really do it. It'd be cute for Easter too. I just thought of that. All right. So I think I'm going to start with the pink one. I'm just going to pop them in here real quick. So those are going to go right in there. All cutesy cutesy, my little tags. And then we'll do the belly band last. So now you've got your tags. You can decide what you want to do with them. As I said, I'm going to use this Label Me Grateful stamp set. I like these sentiments. They're just really you are appreciated. You're the best. A little kindness makes a big difference. And so grateful for that heart of yours. So I've got 4, and I'm going to do those 4 sentiments just because they're nice little sentiments. And let's see, get a block. And then I can decorate with some ephemera, whatever I want to put on there. And I am really loving the blueberry bushel in this, so I want to pick up more of that blueberry bushel. So I'm going to use that as my ink color. Blueberry bushel is such a beautiful, you know, more vibrant kind of blue. A gift and a quick recipe. A recipe. Oh, how cute. Yes. Yes, and a shower gift, a wedding shower gift. That bridal shower gift would be beautiful. Could also be fun. I've got a baby shower coming up for my new little grandbaby that's coming. And as Julie just said that, it could be cute for if you're doing a gift card or just some little words of wisdom, nice little messages on your tags, and add the gift card to one of them. That would be really cute. Yeah, the possibilities with this, a lot of fun. I like that recipe idea too, Julie. Too bad I don't bake or do anything fun like that. So I don't have a lot of recipes to share. But somebody, you know, there's a lot of other people who certainly do. That is a really clever idea, Julie. I like that a lot. That is a good one. Oh, thank you, Stacy. This is a little tag pocket album, I guess they called it. Stampin' Up did it, and so I'm just showing everyone. So there's that one. I love these sentiments. They're just so nice. Little words of affirmation are always appreciated by people. There's that one. Oh, man. See, I haven't used these stamps very much. They are super, super sticky. You are appreciated. I don't know how straight I'm getting because I'm not paying a lot of attention here. And one more. You're the best. I do, Stacy. I don't have any scheduled right at the moment. It's something I need to do, get something scheduled, and I always am willing if somebody wants to do something, if they've got some friends, let's say you had a couple girlfriends and you just wanted to have a little day and make some cards, I'm willing to come to you if you've got a space to do that, or we can find a location and do it. I just really don't have the space to have a bunch of people. I could have a very small group. So yeah, we can make something like that happen, but I don't have any classes planned at the time, at this very moment, but I need to. I do some online classes, but that's not always helpful if people don't have all the supplies they need, but they're a lot of fun to do the online classes too. Okay, so now we've got our little cards. I've got some ephemera from this pack of paper. Has a bunch of die cut stuff. Where'd it go? Here it is. Some of it's probably going to be too big, but I'm going to cut some, thinking end of year needs some cards. Oh, yes, absolutely. We can make that happen, Stacy. Definitely, definitely. So I want some of these smaller pieces that are in here, so I'm going to just pull those out. Yeah, I know your mom likes to make some sometimes. Mary Ellen likes to make some, so we'll get a little group together and make some cards. That would be fun. So saying that for everybody, you know, if you're interested in getting a little group together, just reach out to me and we will figure something out to make that happen. I love to do classes. I love to do in-person little classes, so that would be really fun. All right, so I've got these little ephemera pieces, some flowers and leaves and stems, things. So I'm just going to play with those and attach them here. Whatever you've got, whether it's just some paper, you could put strips of paper across and decorate. You know, whatever you've got, whatever your vision, you just go with it. I'm going to play with some paper and flowers, and I love these two that have the gold in them. Might do that. And let's throw in, ooh, that pink one has some gold too. We might throw that on there. So we might put those like that and some other things happening there. Let's start with that. And then this one, we might do that and that. And let's do another couple of leaves. Okay. And let's put that one over there. And maybe this with it. Two and a third leaf. Let's throw a little bit of gold on there. And then number 4. Let's do that. Put a third flower. Maybe that one. Well, that one's cute. That'd be cute up on the tab, wouldn't it? We'll see. This is just fun pulling these out and just kind of laying them there, and then we'll see what we do. Now, I probably don't want to make them real. I might throw that there too. I might not want to pop them up on a lot of dimensional. Yes, Julie should join. Yeah, anybody. We'll make a group thing. We're going to make a group. Group. All right. So I was going to say, you probably don't want to add a lot of dimension to these. You may want to adhere them flat just because you're going to put them in your pocket. Now, let's say you want to make these little affirmations. I'm loving this right now. I think this would make a really special gift to somebody. But if you wanted to put some pictures on the back side, if you got a special picture, or like I said, attach a gift card or something. So I would think about all of that before you raise these up a whole lot on dimensionals. I may do just a little bit because this is all I'm going to put in here, other than if I wanted to write a little something on the back, that would be kind of fun too. So I may use a couple dimensionals, but I'm not going to go real crazy with this. So I'll pop these up. That one. And let's put that there. That I'll just put down flat. I'm going to find my glue. Where's my little, there you are. My little glue bottle here. A leaf right there. I like that. So this is just the fun part. This is where you're going to play. And how do I want to decorate? I probably won't adhere all these right now on the video. You get the idea of what I'm going to do. I'll do 2 of them. And then we'll get the belly band on there so you can see that part of it. And then when I get them finished, I'll take some pictures and share that with you. So isn't that so pretty? That's just so sweet. I love it. So there's that one. I don't know if I need any more little leaves. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, could have put one up there. I'll see if I have an extra flower. So I'm going to keep those aside for right now. Let's do this one. So I'll pop up this flower. Now another little trick with your dimensionals, before I lay this down, I could put this little leaf on the back side. I'm sorry if I was working off camera. I wasn't paying attention. I hope not. I can pop that little leaf back there and have that already adhered. Then I'm going to put that right there. I might pop that one up too. But it's going to go underneath there, so yep, I'm going to need another dimensional. Let's poke that right under there, like that. I don't like that leaf there. I think that's going to work. Oh, maybe one of these smaller leaves. I think I'll do that smaller leaf, but I'm going to put glue on this one and put it underneath there. And then tuck this one right there. Aren't they pretty? So that's really fun. So if you've got ephemera pieces, or if you stamped and die cut or punched out some pretty things, there's so much you could do with these tags, you guys. It's just really fun. This is beautiful. I'm glad I still had this wildflower birthday. I really like this. All right, so I'm gonna pop my cards in here just to, oh, and if you want to, for your top, we talked about the ribbon. I know, I'm kind of all over the place, aren't I? Going from one thing to the other. Trying to find my little circle punch. That's a little too big. Where'd that other little one go? Oh my goodness. I got stuff going on everywhere here. Where did I put that little tiny punch? That one's too small. I wanted the little line one, but I'm just going to use my crocodile. It's almost in the center. Should have been paying better attention here. I think that's centered a little bit better. So punch some holes in there. I can grab some ribbon. Let's see, what do I have here? I thought I had some. I do somewhere. Oh, that's not what I want. Here it is. I've got this sheer ribbon. This might be retired too. I'm not sure. Just for an example, just to show you. So you could add some ribbon to your little tags. And measure that very good. All right, and I can put those in here. So let's pretend all of them have their ribbon. That goes in there. So I've got my 4 tags. Now I've got my strip of designer series paper, and I'm going to wrap that around, and I want the piece that's going to overlap where we cut it. I'm going to have that in the front because then I can cover it up with a pretty little panel or something on the front. And I'm just going to cut this with my scissors. So when you make a belly band, doesn't matter if it's this card or something else, when you wrap it around, be sure it's not super tight because you want to be able, if somebody wants to slide it off, with this I really don't see a big reason for sliding it off, but if they wanted to, or if your pocket was real puffy, just be sure you give it enough room so that somebody can slide it off if they want to. Or depending on what you're putting inside of it, you know, give yourself a little room so it's not too tight. So my little belly band can slide. That's what I want. Make it slide. I have that little circle, but it's kind of small, so I just may use, I love this bouquet. It's pretty darn big, but I'm not putting it in an envelope. I'm just gifting this. So I think for this, I just may put this big old bouquet right across the front of this because it's not going in an envelope. I don't have to worry that it's going to be too wide. But even if it was going in an envelope, I could just put it in a bigger one. Maybe it would fit in a it might be a little too big for a standard envelope. So we've got that. And then I just need a little sentiment to go across it, but I've got lots of ephemera. So I'm going to grab ephemera and see if I have, I see a happy birthday. Oh, I don't want happy birthday. I don't know what I want. To the grad, thinking of you. Happy birthday, best wishes, congratulations, thanks. Those aren't working for me. Oh, and then some of these, I don't even know if these, you make life so rosy. Oh, today is about you. I'm going to do that. Because it's all those happy little affirmations. I'm going to do that. Today is all about you. So I'm just going to stick that on there with some little pieces of dimensional. How super simple and cute. Ephemera is awesome. If you guys aren't familiar with ephemera, you need to check it out. In the new catalog, I'll just show you, there's some new ephemera, which I had overlooked. Somebody pointed it out. It's on the next page. Yeah. So there is some here. There's some words, different sentiments. There's some pretty big ones, but you can cut them, you know, maybe cut them down, but they're great for scrapbooking and card making. There's some little Easter ones, which are adorable, and then these little puff stickers. And then online or in the annual catalog, there's more of the word ones, like what I was just kind of going through there. There's a bunch of those. So find some sentiments or stamp one. But there we go. There's our little pocket, little tag pocket album. So you've got your tags, depending on how many you want. I would suggest between 4 and 6, but you could always do more. If you've got a whole bunch you want to do, I am just loving this one. I have a special event that I am going to be a vendor at, a little yoga retreat, and I'm going to be doing a vendor thing, and I'm thinking something like this might be really nice at that for the ladies to purchase. So there it is, your little tag album. Where's my one? And this had pictures, like I said. I just did some pictures real quick on these. My grandkids. I just thought it was kind of cute for an example. I gotta find the belly band. Oh, here it is. My little snippets of joy. I love that bundle, that Joyful Squares bundle. It's so darn cute. So there you go, you guys. I hope you had fun with the little tag pocket album. And go back and catch the replay. If you have any questions about the assembly, if I didn't make something clear, went too fast, whatever, you know, just reach out to me. I'm happy to help you, get you through it. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory and really fairly simple to make. So I hope you guys had fun. I will be with you again next week. So in the meantime, happy crafting, and I will see you again. Bye-bye.